Hi! Today's video is on the health benefits of bee propolis. I've recently been turned on to bee propolis. I'm currently taking it, and I think after you hear these incredible health benefits, you're going to be turned on to it too. I've divided this video into two parts. In part one, we're going to go over the health benefits of bee propolis, and then in part two, I'm going to share with you a few tips on how to source the best, most bioactive bee propolis for you, because believe it or not all bee propolises are equally yoked. So without further ado, let's get started. Now I'm out in the back 40 of my property, and this is my brand new hive that my husband and I got this spring. I got into the hive last week and I was actually looking around for any signs of propolis yet, and because the hive is only a couple months old, I'm not quite able to harvest my own propolis yet, but it is definitely on my sights in the future. But really quick, let me run down what bee propolis is. Propolis is formed from sap or resin of tree bark and other plant materials that bees collect. When the bees return to the hive with the substances, they mix it with their own beeswax, creating a waxy, tacky product called propolis. So why do the bees make this propolis? Because it has antifungal, antibacterial, and antiviral properties. The bees use it to seal the interior of their hives as to protect it from contaminants and keep the hive sanitary. That's why propolis is also known as bee glue. Since it's an excellent sealant, it makes great use for hive repair as well. They even wash themselves with the propolis at the doorway of their hive when they enter to ensure they're clean. When you have up to 50,000 bees in a hive, sanitation is really important, and bees, they like to be clean. It's important for the longevity and health of their hive. The color of natural propolis is brownish, and it has a waxy, tacky texture to it. It smells and tastes sweet, even though it's not honey, nor does it contain any honey. On average, propolis contains approximately 55% resins, 30% beeswax, 10% etheric oils, and 5% pollen. These numbers of course vary, but that's the main composition profile. The harvesting and use of bee propolis goes way back in the history books, back to the ancient Romans, the Greeks, and the Egyptians. So this is really nothing new, but it's new to me and it might be new to you, so let's get into the health benefits. Bee propolis contains over 500 times more bioflavonoids than an orange. And if you didn't know, bioflavonoids are also known as vitamin P. Because it's so rich in these bioflavonoids, that makes propolis an excellent healer and mender of blood vessels. And bioflavonoids have a particular benefit to high blood pressure, liver conditions, and respiratory infections. Bee propolis is rich in amino acids, and it's also a complete protein. Propolis is high in vitamin A in the form of beta-carotene. It is known to contain all the vitamins, including the vitamin B family of the B1, B2, B3, and biotin. The only vitamin propolis does not contain is vitamin K. So you gotta eat your kale for the vitamin K. Propolis contains albumin, which is a type of protein that helps keep fluids in your bloodstream, and it also helps transport nutrients throughout your body. Amino acids, like what I just mentioned bee propolis is really rich in, are the building blocks of albumin. It contains 14 of the 15 essential minerals that the human body requires for normal functioning. Calcium, magnesium, iron, copper, zinc, silica, potassium, phosphorus. The only mineral that it doesn't contain is sulfur. Now, like royal jelly and bee pollen, bee propolis contains hundreds of unidentified compounds that work synergistically with the nutrients that I just mentioned to create an incredible, whole, complete food. So how can it be used as a remedy, and for what kinds of ailments? First, let me say that bee propolis can be used in all types of different forms, from tinctures, creams, salves, oral supplements. So which form is exactly right for which ailment really depends on what the ailment is. The real quick skinny is that bee propolis can be used as an anti-inflammatory, an antifungal, an antibacterial, and an antiviral. A quick general list that propolis can be helpful for are acne and skin disorders including shingles, skin cuts, rashes, infections, burns, dental care, cavities, and mouth ulcers. Now regarding cancer, there's one particular study from Columbia University. That study has shown that bee propolis has properties which might reduce the size of tumors and prevent the development of cancerous cells. This particular property of the propolis is connected to its strong antioxidant capability, and the activity of the compound that it contains is called CAPE, C-A-P-E, which is an acronym for this big name right here. Perhaps you've heard of a group of antioxidants called polyphenols. Well, CAPE is a part of the phenol family, and propolis has it. Regarding endometriosis, it's been proven that certain types of endometriosis can cause infertility. In a study of women with endometriosis associated with infertility, 60% of the women were able to become pregnant after orally taking the propolis on a regular long-term basis. Regarding psoriasis, in a book called Propolis by Dr. Felix Murat, he's quoted as saying, "Propolis used in conjunction with bee pollen contains all of the vital elements to reproduce its specific species. This includes all necessary minerals, vitamins, hormones, enzymes, RNA, and DNA. If psoriasis is a deficiency disease, it makes sense that such a grave condition could be healed by using propolis." Regarding yeast and candida, since bee propolis is a strong antifungal, it can be effectively used with vaginal yeast infections and oral thrush. When propolis is used as a toothpaste, it can be effective in healing your gums from gingivitis and also reducing cavities. The health benefits of propolis just really go on and on. So I encourage you to do your own research into the ailments that you might be suffering from to see if bee propolis can help you out. And if you're blessed enough not to have any ailments that you're suffering from, then consider taking propolis as just an incredible nutritive for your body that will fuel you and contribute to keeping you healthy and strong. Let's move into part 2 of this video, where I'm going to share with you just a couple tips on how to get the best, most bioactive bee propolis so that you don't waste your money buying propolis that's subpar. Really quick, I just want to say, if you like learning about wild edibles, such as today's video on beet propolis, I also do videos on fermenting vegetables and a little farm and garden. So if any of that sounds good to you, I'd love to have you be a part of my channel, Clean Food Living. Hit that subscribe button in the bottom corner of your screen, and without further ado, let's move on to part 2 of this video. I'm going to give you some tips on how to find the best bioactive bee propolis so that you don't waste your money buying some subpar propolis. I once watched this video right here on fake honey, and in that video it explained how certain countries treat their bees and their hives. For example, spraying them with chemicals or antibiotics. When you spray the bees with chemicals or antibiotics, that actually makes the bee products defective. It will obviously remove all the antibacterial properties of the honey or the propolis, the royal jelly, etc. Also, countries have certain import laws with foods like this, where they require irradiation. What does radiation do? Radiation kills things, and they do it for sterilization reasons. I understand that. But I also understand that irradiation can damage really bioactive sensitive foods like bee propolis and honey and certain herbs as well. Which countries use irradiation, which countries don't? Good luck trying to find out. I've done some research on the United States, and I did find that the United States does irradiate certain herbs and foods. But the government websites don't give a specific list of which ones. So when you're in that gray zone, you just kind of have to put a blanket on everything. So if you take those two factors together, bee apiaries that treat their bees with antibiotics or spray them with chemicals, and then import laws that irradiate the product, you're going to have a subpar bioactive form of propolis. A lot of the big corporations that sell their bee products, whether it be honey or royal jelly, propolis, bee pollen, will actually import from several apiaries. For example, a large corporation that produces a bee propolis may have that propolis sourcing from China, Argentina, Brazil, and France. All of those could be in there, and it gets put into one giant melting pot, all stirred together, and then divided into either the capsules or the gel caps. So you have no idea which farms and which practices are being done combining it. So I'm not saying that all apiaries in all countries do this, but it's certainly practiced, and you're just not able to source which country and which apiary is coming from when you go for these large corporation supplements. And if you contact the company, they're not going to be able to tell you either, because they do not track which apiary or apiaries are contained in the bottle. So it just leaves this big giant question mark. Am I saying that all large corporations are going to have a subpar product? No, that's not what I'm saying. But I am bringing these things up just to bring awareness to you of what might be going on in your bottle, and you may not be really buying what you think you're buying. So how do you get around this? This is what I did. I bought local. And local can mean from your county, from your city, or even from just your state, or even from your country if you can't find any from your county or state. But at least buying a propolis or a honey or a royal jelly, etc., that's from your country of residence and not possibly sourced from all over the world is really going to help reduce the chances that you're buying a subpar propolis. So how do you find these local beekeepers? It's pretty easy with the internet. Just for example, the search term could be Texas Bee Propolis Buy. Scroll past the big business websites, and as you go down the page, you'll most likely find the small beekeeping websites further down. That's what you want. If you do decide to order, they'll ship it right to you, so it's not like you have to drive there to pick it up. That's what I did to find my Montana-sourced bee propolis. I actually did call the bee farm up, and I talked with the actual owner, and I just had some questions. And it was fantastic because she knew everything there was to know about her beekeeping farm and all of her products. So I got all my questions answered. I also received it in 2 days because she was shipping it from in-state and it wasn't coming from across the country. I hope you found this video really helpful, and maybe it even excited you to jump onto the bee propolis wagon just like it's excited me to do so. You can check out my Edda videos right here, hit that subscribe button, and ding the bell to be notified each time I upload a new video. I'll be seeing you again in my next video. Until then, have a great afternoon. Bye!